Unitarian Universalist, Gwen Matthews, reflecting on the spirit of this holiday season. You are the holiday miracle. As December opens up before us, we welcome in the gift of reflection. We turn toward our holiday celebrations and search for common threads of meaning. We begin with Yule, the winter solstice, and we are invited to explore duality, cycles, and seasons, and to witness the Holly King being overcome by the Oak King. Yule reminds us that we all partake in the miracle of renewal.
Hanukkah, the festival of lights, commemorates a time of miracles when the faith of Jewish people sustained them to reclaim their holy temple and keep the light of the menorah burning for 8 days.
Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' humble birth in a manger, offers us to revisit the miracle of birth and the desire to find saviors to heal the scars of humanity.
Here, in our congregation, you are just as much a holiday miracle as the turning of the earth, as persistence and dedication to a faith, as the creation of a new life. We see the love you give to others, the space you create to hold one another's joy and sorrows, and the generosity and spirit you entrust in this community.
You are the holiday miracle. This community is one of miracle makers.
Good morning, my name is Chris Kirshner, and I'm excited to be part of RE at UUMiami. Now, we like to call it RE instead of the whole name, Religious Exploration, because we are simply learning together. So we offer RE to children and youth in our congregation and in our community. The teens are in a class called Coming of Age, and we developed a course for our 4 to 10-year-olds because we know we've wanted to do more than acknowledge our land. And we have been celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day now on campus for 2 years. And we've developed friendships and partnerships with our Miccosukee neighbors. And one of them, Betty Osceola, calls human beings natural beings. And we, with her help, developed this course called Natural Beings in a Natural World. This morning, we will apply what we have learned in our Coming of Age class and our Natural Beings in a Natural World. What we've learned from August to November, we're going to apply them to our UU principles and give you a glimpse of our program.
We believe each and every person is important. Each class, we greet each other by saying our names 3 times. 1 to honor our past self, our baby time, 1 to honor our present self and our childhood. 1 to honor our wise future self. My name is Nina. Principle 1 teaches us that every person has worth and should be treated with dignity. In our class, we also learn why some Indigenous people call us the two-legged.
Here's a four-legged. I need a three-legged.
The second principle says that we believe all people should be treated fairly. On our first day of class, we made this promise to each other, a covenant. This is what we did. For example, it says, be welcoming and inclusive, listen to each other's voices, respect each other's identities, including pronouns, bring openness, creativity, and flexibility, and more.
Kiara, what does the third principle say?
We accept everyone and we learn together.
We went to the History Miami, a museum in downtown, where we learned a lot about the Tequesta. We learned that they sneaked up on deer and they hid under a deer skin, and they will have to get dirty with mud and sometimes even poop. We also learned about the Miami Circle, which was uncovered on the south shore of the Miami River in the 1990s. It revealed that the Tequesta lived here over 10,000 years ago. Kiara, do you remember what we used to make our own Miami Circle near the labyrinth?
We used a phone compass to find north, east, south, and west.
That's right. And what did we cut out of paper to bury in our own circle, just like the Tequesta did thousands of years ago?
We cut out a shark and placed it inside the circle with the head and tail facing east to west. We have learned about how Native Americans buried their dead at the Deerness State. We saw where Miccosukee bodies were discovered deep in the ground, facing down. We learned that bodies were buried towards Mother Earth. We also found shark vertebrae in an old garbage pile.
We learned that Seminoles in the Everglades often used fire to send their dead to the next life. Chris hid many items for us to find, and we guessed which items some native peoples used in their rituals for the dead. Like you used, the Navajo worked to live in Hozo, a state of order with the universe where one sees beauty in all living things. And that way you live a good life. Anna is bringing new items as a gift to the dead. The body of the dead would be washed by loved ones and put on a platform to be closer to the sky. For Seminoles, this platform was a palmetto trunk that was split. The feet would face east to walk toward the sun. Luca is placing an arrow and a knife in the hands of the dead. Lillian is showing that some tribes painted the cheeks of the dead. Nina gives her the first palm frond, and Chris gives her the feather this person has earned through hard work and bravery.
We also believe everyone deserves a vote about the things that concern them. And speaking from the parents' perspective, what I have noticed is that this Natural Beings in a Natural World program really came out of something that the adults were doing earlier this year. We had a group that met monthly to learn about Indigenous wisdom and teachings, really for our own education, and we realized that we wanted this for our own children. We didn't want to wait until we were grown-ups to understand the truth about our history, whether it's Miami or our United States. And so I really feel like our principle and action of everyone deserves a voice and a vote. You know, we together created this with the amazing Chris and Carly, but the parents had a say in every step, and we could not be more grateful for what this has turned into. I feel like I have learned as much as they have.
I selfishly volunteered to as many classes as possible to help Chris, because in every class I was learning so much. I wasn't part of the adults class, so I'm glad that I did. In school, we often focused on learning about world history or our country's history, and on top of that, not so much about the first people that were here before us. So for me, zooming into the history of our state, our city, was very enlightening, and I'm truly honored to have been able to participate and share this with my family. This experience means a lot to me, and I know it will have a huge impact on my kids and how they view the world. So thank you, Chris and Carly, for having me and letting me learn along my kids.
We believe in working for a peaceful, fair, and free world. Service has been a central part of our RE time together. We have packaged food for distribution by a local charity, a Bridge to Hope, a food pantry for those experiencing food insecurity in Miami-Dade County. Also, we organized and transported personal hygiene items to the Camila's House, an organization providing wraparound health and housing services to community members experiencing homelessness. The most meaningful takeaway from these experiences for me was transporting items to the Camila's House and getting to see the donations put to use. When we were putting the donations in the box next to the building, a kind man came to help to take the donations inside and told us how these donations were a big help.
Our seventh principle says that we believe in caring for our planet Earth and every living thing that shares it with us. On our Buffalo Tiger airboat ride with Betty, we learned about the food web that connects all living things. There are so many interdependent species. Each part of nature is important and must be protected.
Have learned a rather catchy song and paddling their own canoe to go along with it, of course. Are we ready to row? Rowing over the river, rolling over the sea, rolling over the river and the deep blue sea. Oh, rolling over the river, rolling over the sea, rolling over the river and the deep blue sea. Water, water, water makes the skeeters go round. Water, water, water makes the skeeters go round. Water, skeeters, Skaters make the frogs go round. Frogs, frogs, frogs that make the glades go round. Glades, glades, glades that make the water go round. Glades that make the waters go round. Oh, rolling over the river, rolling over the sea, rolling over the river and the deep blue sea. Oh, rolling over the river, rolling over the sea, rolling over the river and the deep blue sea.
Our faith has been debating adding an 8th principle. The adult version is on the screen. For our class, it means we believe in changing policies and practices that grew out of racist beliefs. We have read 5 books in our class. One of them, We Are the Water Protectors, tells about the abuse of Indian lands at the hands of companies laying oil pipelines. We have learned about the perspective of enough. We can make different decisions about fossil fuels. Living in harmony with nature is a good way to be healthy and happy.
We learn about South Florida's flora and fauna. Then we study the mammals and reptiles of the Everglades. Then, my favorite, insects and bats. We will also be devoting the last month of our program to the birds of our region. We hope to invite everyone on our next airboat tour, and we will be building a bat home for our UU campus. We also will be planting an artificial reef, so wait for more news. The teens look forward to a composting service project, an overnight improv class, and a second vision quest. Last night's was phenomenal, and the teens will return to this stage to share their UU credo at the end of the RE year. All of us are becoming Earth protectors.
So we have much, much to be thankful